Hello and welcome to When a Podcast Calls on an Earful podcast, where today we are talking about the brand new The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, recently released on Netflix. And obviously, I'm deep diving into it with Matty. Hello.
How's it going? You okay?
Good, mate, you?
Yeah, I'm good. How did you feel about this then? Initial thoughts?
Right, so
Going into it.
Do you know what's weird? Like, the what's the word I'm looking for? The reception this film has got. Like, from what I've seen online, people are very split about this film, aren't they?
Definitely. There's some people that are saying they absolutely hate it.
Yeah, and then I've seen... Go on.
No, go on.
Well, on. I remember you dropping a message the Friday morning in our group, and it was someone has said this is better than Scream and Halloween Kills, which is a fucking bold statement.
Yeah.
Not that, Halloween Kills is huge, but Scream certainly did well.
This is off. I think it was off someone in the horror community who's like big on Scream as well.
Oh, really?
I saw him put it on like Instagram, and I was like, fucking hell. The fact that they're rating it over Kills and Scream.
Yeah, it's a big take, and then some people are absolutely slating it.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, everyone's going to have their opinions to it, so...
Yeah, absolutely. So I really like the film. I think it's good.
Yeah.
There's some points where I'm like, I don't think it's bad, but I'd like more of an explanation and, in certain things, which I'm sure we'll jump into.
Yeah.
But yeah, as a whole, I like it, and I think I like it because of the amount of gore and, the stylized, artsy gore it does, which... It does well.
You can say that, yeah. Just a bit.
Just a little bit. What were your thoughts on it?
Going into it, I was a bit... I think I was same as everyone else. I was a bit dubious, and I had the same feeling before Scream came out. I mean, even though I was really excited about it. And obviously this film has been on and off on it for a while. So many people trying to jump on it, and obviously Netflix have got hold of it, and
sometimes that's worrying, seeing a studio go, we're just going to put it immediately to a streaming service.
Exactly, and I think that's what's sort of made everyone worried about it. And then I think watching the trailer as well, some people were very skeptical because they saw the mask and what that looks like, and they're like, oh, it's nothing like the original. It's like, well, it was someone's face he was wearing in the original.
That's it,
that would have fucking rotted away by now. Do you know what I mean?
The Leatherface can have many masks because he's fucking slicing people's faces off.
Exactly.
As we see in this.
So, you know what I mean? He's not going to be walking around with the same person's face 40 years later or so. So
yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
And I like that it was different. It was the exact same, and he was still in his suit and stuff. I'd be like, oh, I'm not buying this at all. Come on. And there's some things in this I don't buy, but yeah. A fresh face is a nice addition.
I think it looks cool. As the new Leatherface face, I think it looks pretty cool. And like I said, throughout the series, it's probably going to adapt in it. I mean, if they're going to carry it on, then
I think they will.
It might change. Well, we'll get to that when it comes to it.
Yeah, all right. I'm jumping the gun there.
Yeah.
It's not something I ever even considered. I just thought this was one and done, which we've seen a lot with, additions to this franchise in the past.
Well, that's it, isn't it? There's been so many sequels as well, and again, there's mixed reviews about them. I mean, I personally, I love Texas Chainsaw, and that was the direct sequel to it. And what year was that again? Was it 2013?
Was that the 3D one we were just talking about? Yeah, that was 2013, I think.
Yeah.
I've just watched that today before our podcast. And yeah, I really like not to review another Texas Chainsaw within this, but the fact that you got those not flashbacks, but immediately after the events of the first one, that's a good sequel.
Yeah, exactly.
It is cool, yeah.
So, and that had a lot in it as well. I think they went a lot more deeper into the storyline compared to this one.
Yeah. Well, the storyline is probably... It leaves you trying to work out a lot because... We have this new group of people who we see in a gas station as we've got the events of the first one on the TV in the background, and some characters are asking about it. And then you get that whole exposition with the guy with the gun at the gas station, and some Melody, one of our main characters. Oh, did she piss me off immediately?
What?
She's like,
comments
on his gun just because he's got it attached to his hip. I was rooting for her to die many times in this movie.
Well, is it you're thinking this guy's going to be like one of those dickheads on it now, and
you assume right, he's luring this group immediately.
Exactly, yeah, because
to it.
Again, it's like sort of referencing the original where they go to the gas station and
and it's, I think the dad.
Yeah, it's the dad. Is it Drayton?
Drayton Sawyer. Yeah.
He's stood there at the gas station, so it's sort of like probably trying to mimic that in a like little way. I think it was there for the fans, wasn't it? Again,
I don't know if this was intentional as well. This is a little side note, but did you notice they're driving a Tesla so they can never run out of gas? I love that, like, little nods.
Yeah.
You know, you can't run out of gas, can you?
Oh yeah,
you can run out of charge, but I thought that would be quite funny. If that's intentionally done, that's brilliant.
Yeah, and so obviously now we're talking about the beginning of the film. So you've got, like you said, on the TV in the background, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre is now like a big thing, like in that area. But it's like it's like things like nowadays when you see any big mass murders that have happened somewhere, like it's all over the news, documentaries on it.
They've adopted it as like the town's culture. They're selling like little chainsaw corkscrews.
Yeah, it's like the culture of like morbid curiosity. People want to go visit it to see where this happened.
Yeah.
And like I said, they're selling little chainsaws and. Yeah, it was cool to see that, and even the documentaries have got the same font as well as what the film.
I thought that was cool. And then like in the gas station on the side, you've got like the sketch of the wanted poster that Sally described to the police.
Yeah.
And then we find out in that scene that Sally has become a ranger. Am I right in saying that? I think
something
it was a ranger.
like that. Yeah.
She stuck around, became a ranger. And so obviously that laid the groundwork for her to come into this story again, which we knew before this came out. But as it's shown on the TV, you see her, don't you? Like obviously the original Sally from the OG film, and then transitions into, so we can expect, right, that's older Sally. She hasn't spoke a word about it in so many years, and she shuts the door, doesn't she?
Right, so starting on Sally, why is it such a copy of Jamie
Laurie Strode?
Yeah, like why is this a copy paste? Like, why are both of them? Why is she turned out to be a badass bitch as well with a fucking shotgun in it?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
I think when we were talking about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original last podcast, which we'll link and everything. One of our commenters, we spoke about it, was like, I don't need another Laurie Strode, and it's so easy to make that comparison because 2018 Halloween made Laurie Strode the like badass, and preparing for him to come back.
And it's not like they've trying to like change it in any way or give it any reasoning. It's just like she's like that. Like I just feel like it was a bit of a, I don't know. I feel like it was a bit of a cop out, and
I've got So I did see some reviews where people are like lowballing the score, which fair enough, but then they would go, this happened to my friend Laurie 4 years ago. I love that. But when Sally comes into it later, I do think there's parts of it where I'm like, okay, yeah, I get why she's in it, which I don't want to jump the gun and, jump to halfway in the film.
Yeah. So
I'll bring that up later, but yeah, I do get it. It's so easy to make that comparison.
It's just like, why is she not? You know what I mean? Like any person who'd probably gone
could have been anything else.
Yeah, it could have been anything else. Like she could be at home with a family. She's got really bad PTSD, so she stays away from Texas. Like you get the fuck out of there, won't you? You won't be anywhere near that place. Yeah. But instead, she's there on her own.
Also, in that gas station scene, our character, I think it's Leela, asks, Did she find him? And he goes, it's pretty hard to find someone in a mask. So I thought that was a weird addition because, by the end of the original, Bubba Sawyer's on his own.
Yeah.
And we just got to figure out. Well, I suppose actually, Drayton Sawyer's back at the house, isn't he?
He is. Drayton Sawyer's back at the house. So's Grandpa.
So you are left
Nubbins
wondering.
got fucking pummeled by a car. Van.
You are left wondering, like, oh yeah, I forgot about that. You're left wondering, like, oh, I'm jumping the gun here, but in fact, no, I'm not going to jump the gun. Let's wait.
Yeah, I know a lot of it like comes down to it all being like, oh, it's obviously it's a movie, like let's not think too far into it. But yeah, she sort of knew the location of where all the shit happened, so you think she could have come back around with the police and whatever. And
she could have been like anything else rather than like, I'm prepared for this. I'm a badass.
Yeah,
70-odd-year-old woman.
But then again, this is where
butchering a pig. You know?
It didn't fill any gaps like that. So it's obviously fast forwarded so many years on. The Texas Chainsaw is a big thing now. Like everyone knows about what happened to it. Yeah,
people are scared about that story and the hunting for that guy.
She's living in this house which looks very similar to the family house, the Sawyer home. But yeah,
we're talking about Sally here.
Yeah, Sally. Yeah, but it doesn't fill in any of the gaps in between. So, for example, like what's it called now? So Leatherface has ended up in in like a foster home or like a boys' home.
Yeah, this is what I was just wanting to say. Like,
yeah,
we're not told how.
Yeah, so maybe she could have come back around with the police, showed him the house, and then something happened to the family, and then he got put into that home or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. Or like the woman that was looking after those boys.
Yeah.
Found him, took him in.
Yeah.
You know, accepted what he was like, and brought him to that house. But so this is my issue with the film: is we've got plot points where I have to think in my and work out like, oh, well, maybe it was this route. That's how. He got there. Another plot point I have issues with is, why is the town abandoned? We're not told anything about that. And like, so yeah, I'm assuming people who listen to this should have seen it. We've got our main group of friends, Melody, Leela, Dante, and Ruth. And Dante and Melody, chefs, and, you know, bought a town. And they wanted to open a restaurant there and then auction off other parts of the town. That's what we work out in this, isn't it? But we're never told why they're getting away. And, you know, we do later on a bit.
Yeah.
But
can I say how much Melody looks like Rizzo from Grease? Fucking hell, it spits. Like, I'll try and get a photo but I will put this on here. But when I saw her at first, she looks spits of Rizzo from Grease. Not all horror movie fans would think of that. It's just because I like a bit of Grease on the side.
Sarah Yarkin, for anyone who's wondering, plays Melody. And she's also in Happy Death Day 2. You know Grease better than I do, so I'm...
It's the outfit as well that she's got on.
Oh, I see exactly what you mean with the hair, though.
It's the hair and the way she dresses as well. Obviously, we can... there you go. You see what I mean?
There you go. Yeah, I can. I do see what you mean.
It's fucking Rizzo from Grease, I'm telling you. I was waiting for John Travolta to burst out cinema and just like break out into song and dance on the street.
And that's what defeats Leatherface. The end.
Anyway, that was just a quick...
Yeah, nice little...
watching it,
yeah. But yeah, like, my issue is that we're left to work out, why is the town abandoned? How did Leatherface get there? Those are my, like, little points where I'm like, that bugs me. Which,
again, going back to... I know I keep comparing it to Halloween. Sorry if that's pissing anyone off, but I'm not sorry. So, obviously, there was plot... Like, bits of the plot missing in Halloween. How the fuck did Michael Myers end up in... Smith's Grove again? Like, how did they find him? And then obviously they filled in the gaps in the next movie, so you found out like what happened.
But even in the first one, you had the podcasters sort of explaining it, and then in the second, in Halloween Kills, we have the flashback sequence. And it fills everything in.
So I know I'm fast forwarding a bit, and I was going to go on about it later, but maybe I'll get back to the point again later on. But maybe they'll bring this back in the future for another movie, or maybe a series, a Netflix original series, Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I'd be happy with another one, definitely.
Anyway, that's for later on. But
Yes.
So they go visit this town, and then coincidentally, there's Leatherface living
Well, before that, so the comment about the gun that Melody makes, as they pull up to the town, it's Richter is the guy that's helping him complete on the town and sell it to them.
Yeah.
And he's been doing it up. And then it's like, oh, this fucking guy. And then, yeah.
Turns out he's the guy who's actually helping them out.
Yeah.
You'd feel like an absolute fucking tool.
Because of the gas station scene, you're immediately like suspect to him. You're like, oh, here we go. This is how he leads them to Leatherface. And then we've got the Confederate flag being hung up. And he's like, nah, not having that, understandably. They go to get it down. And it turns out they're in this orphanage where not only is Leatherface, but this elderly woman who's been caring for him.
Oh, mate,
refused to move.
So that scene at first, so he runs upstairs and Ebbs didn't see it at first when we was watching it.
Sat in the chair.
Yeah, he's sat in the chair. So they run up and he's sat in the corner on the chair just there. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then he comes back running out of there and he's gone. And I was like, shit, something's going to happen now.
Immediately, like that suspense and subtle things like that made this film for me. Yeah, because I saw Jess completely freaked out of this. She was like, nah, fuck that. Like, immediately you get tense up at that moment and you know you're expecting something to happen.
Yeah.
Then you can't get the Confederate flag down, and then the elderly woman, who we didn't know was in the house, confronts Melody.
Yeah.
And is basically refusing to leave because it's her house and she owns it. But from Melody's perspective, she believes she's bought the town and she owns it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then the only real issue is when... So this old woman, the police come and tell her she has to leave because they believe this deal's completed as well. And then the old woman collapses and...
Yeah. Basically just dies, doesn't she, in the ambulance?
Yeah, which, by the way, very suspect-looking fucking ambulance with the sheriffs. The sheriffs are not driving, like, your typical, like, town car and stuff. It's a van.
Yeah.
It's like, you probably collect kids in your spare time kind of van, you know? Like, fucking hell. So that's the kind of setup they're dealt with, which I suppose is a good way to think about it because I don't want to believe there's some huge sheriff department going on for an abandoned town.
Well, I think, like, as well, from my perspective from the last film, I think everyone's got trust issues with the police when it comes to a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. Not everyone's big on the police, are they? Because of what's happened. So I think throughout the whole beginning of the film, everyone's a bit like suspicious of them. Especially when they come and stop the car and you're thinking, fuck, something's going to pick up here,
just at the beginning.
Yeah.
But then we just see Leatherface, not with his mask on.
No.
He's just stood at the top of the stairs in this, like, menacing silhouette, you know, panicking about this woman that's looked after him. Yeah. And the police are aware of him, say that's her boy, and they all get in the ambulance. And it's Ruth who decides to go with. First, Melody wants to go with. Ruth says, no, you're the chef and you're part of the deal. It's a big thing for you. I'll go.
Yeah, wrong decision. Bad decision.
Oh, this whole moment coming up for me was like, once I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, it's good. You know, I'm hopeful now for the rest of it because the old woman dies.
Yeah, man, and then, you can just see him getting more pissed off and more pissed off because that's his like motherly figure. Even though it's not his real mum. Because again, we don't know what's happened to the rest of his family. So we
might find out in the next one.
Yeah. From what we saw, his family fucking treated him like shit anyway. It's probably why. Obviously, that's why he ended up like he was. But yeah, that bus crash scene. Fucking hell, that was brutal.
So yeah,
snaps that guy's wrist,
dude. Wrist snap, but then stabbed him with the bone.
Oh fuck!
Go on.
No, I was gonna say this. I was like, as soon as I seen that, I was like, fuck!
Yeah.
It sets the fucking premise for the rest of the movie. Then you're like, okay, they're going all out for it with the kills. That's very creative though, as well.
Oh yeah, like that's a kind of kill I want to see from this franchise.
Yeah.
When we were watching it, Jess was like, I thought this was a Netflix film that shouldn't be allowed. And I was like, oh yeah, we're good here. And then the bus crashes in that scene that we see in the trailer into that huge combine harvester.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we see him cutting the face off of this motherly figure of his.
Oh, dude, see, that's freaky. So then...
We saw it getting cut off. It was so well done.
Yeah.
In, like, a wing mirror of the van.
I think like the suspense in this scene as well is so good. Like, it plays out so well. But you can see her trying to get out of the van and she's trying to keep as quiet as possible.
Oh,
at the same
but then
time,
she's also on the radio whispering.
Yeah, and it's just like, how the fuck can you keep that quiet when you're seeing that happening? And she's trying to obviously whisper down the radio, and you're sort of like on the edge of your seat, cringing. You're
waiting for someone to like
appear at the window
back
as
and
well.
Blast through, and him appear through the window. Yeah, I think this whole film does like the suspense, because we've got suspense from paranormal films before, and we discount the cheap loud sound, scary visual. But I think this does like suspense, because that's what you want from a slasher.
Yeah,
it does it so well, and there's like some claustrophobic moments where I'm anticipating the impact and the scare.
Yeah,
and then there's some like left of field, out of nowhere scares. And that was one of those tense moments where I'm just waiting for him to be like right up against, you know.
So the bit with the police officer as well, when he just comes back and finishes him off, and he just appears at the window, and he's got the face of that woman on him now. And he just fucking bashes that guy's head in with that, and she's pretending to play dead the whole time, which
thank God. She tries climbing out the window.
Yeah.
And then, does he pull her back through?
Yeah, so he grabs hold of her legs and he pulls her back through, because he just fucking smashes through the window, pulls her back through.
And then it's with that piece of glass, isn't it?
Yeah.
Gets a piece of glass from a smashed window.
Stomach gets sliced open, which is fucking grim.
Some intense eye contact into someone else's skin as a face. Lovely.
Yeah.
All about that.
I'll tell you, Netflix are going all out for this.
Yeah, this didn't disappoint. I don't think, anyway. And that's our first couple of kills immediately after one another, and I think it was pretty quick to get them.
Yeah, and let's not forget Leatherface popping out that cornfield like he's on one of them carnival things that pops up and down. Like,
fuck that.
Hello.
Real creepy visual, because it's like...
It is creepy as fuck. It's like Slipknot, in it? It's like...
it's like a Slipknot
All
visual.
Hope Is Gone albums, you know, they're all popping out the cornfield.
All the sunflowers are just dead, aren't they? These dead bulbs of sunflowers all around. He just fucking pops up like he's in an elevator. Fuck that. Yeah. So while we're still on the sunflower field, when Sally goes to investigate that place and it's dark.
Fuck.
And we see the like dressed up kill, which is something we love in slashers, where the mother figure who he's cut the face off and is wearing is just sat on a hay bale with the smile and all the blood and the
eyes as well.
Yeah. That was one of my favourite like moments where it's like, fuck that.
That was a freaky moment. That's like a get the fuck out of there right now moment.
Yeah, sorry to jump ahead, but that freaked me out. And the reason Sally goes there is thanks to Ruth whispering on that radio.
Yeah.
The gas station guy at the beginning.
Yeah.
He hears it and contacts Sally. So, yeah, that's why.
Mm.
And then, all of a sudden, another issue I have. All of a sudden, Leatherface is back in the house, right? Am I right in saying that?
You are correct. To the house? Yeah, he returns to the house because... I'm trying to think now again because I only said it there once.
Yeah. But I don't think it's like... I don't think we see him return. But this is as... Oh, I'm completely wrong. Ignore me. It's Melody is arguing with Dante because she feels responsible for possibly killing the mother figure. And
she goes into the house to try and find the deed
for the house?
Yeah.
And he says, I've got it here, looks in his folder. It's not here, it must be in the office back in Austin. It's like, do you have the deed or are you lying to make me feel better? So she goes and checks with Dante.
Yeah.
And Leela, Melody's sister, I'm assuming, is told to wait in the bus.
Yeah.
And so she's snooping around, and then the first person we see die after this is Dante, isn't it?
It is.
Not something I expected, because you assume Melody and Dante are the main characters.
Yeah.
So you assume they're safe until the end.
Yeah. Because she gets into like the room, doesn't she, at first? She finds the deed, then she hears like the creeping noise.
She looks at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah. Hides in the wardrobe, and then you hear Dante come in, and then he gets a meat cleaver to the face.
Bro.
And then that,
and he's just panned out on the floor. For
that camera angle, though, that scene, because you see, like, it sort of pans through the door, and the door's, like, sort of swinging shut, and as it swings open a little bit, you see the boom, and then it swings back shut again.
Yeah, and he walks through it backwards, doesn't he?
I love that. That was a sick shot, that. Just as the door swings open a little bit, you see him get, like, hit with it. I thought that was pretty,
Yeah.
Well done to the cinematographers for that one. So,
yeah, absolutely. Nice and stylish.
Yeah.
And then Leatherface thinks he's seen Melody upstairs, right? Oh, no, I'm wrong. He just goes upstairs.
Yeah, because he's going to go bash that wall in for the chainsaw. And he's putting makeup on first as well. He wants to make the skin look a bit more like he's that woman.
Doesn't he get one of her dresses as well while Melody's hiding in the wardrobe? And that's such a, like, another claustrophobic moment where I'm like, oh, there's no way. You've been got here. At first, I won't lie, when he pulled it out and you're trying to work out what he's doing, I was like, is he making a skin suit? Is this some Buffalo Bill shit about to happen? Thank God it wasn't. But
by horse's place.
Yeah. One moment I was just hearing, like, as he's looking through all these clothes, just doo-doo. Doo-doo.
There's some dressing going on. Dick and balls between legs.
It's just, he's completed the other half that Buffalo Bill couldn't, you know.
Oh, man, that's funny.
But yeah, then, like, I like this because you see, you know, why Leatherface is doing this, because he's torn up about losing the only person who's cared for him since.
Yeah.
So we have a reason for it. Like, we need a reason, but, you know.
Yeah, so he sits down, he's, like, sniffing the dress, and then that's when he starts to put the makeup onto the... puts the lotion on the skin.
I'm sorry I made that comparison, though.
Puts the makeup on, and then after that he's like, right, fuck this, chainsaw's coming out.
Yeah.
Leaves the room, comes back in.
So the chainsaw isn't yet, is it? Because
someone else
Dante runs out of the house because he's still alive, where we thought he was dead.
Yeah, that's it.
He runs after him, then realizes there's other people there, and then this is where we see, like, actual Dante's face with the meat cleavers, like, took almost half his jaw off, and it's hanging off. And we have so obviously we had a bus of people come into the town looking to buy properties and make it this big hype place full of, like, new businesses. And Catherine is one of the characters who's representing the bank, helping with the transaction. And she sees what's happened and then is like, everyone on the bus, but I'm not going to tell you why.
Yeah. It's like, they just carry on partying at the back of the bus. She just saw a guy who's literally had his fucking face ripped open. And she just sits there and keeps it quiet. Yeah,
and I think, like, I get why, you know. I want you to buy properties off me, but either way, you'd still have to disclose... The guy who was running this place has just died, by the way.
Yeah.
So
either way, they're going to find out, so they might as well know now and be more safe about it.
That's it, yeah. So Richter has seen Dante, and at first you think he's the, you know, aggressive guy about to, you know, confront Dante. As soon as he sees what's happened to him, he's like, right, get everyone on the bus. I'll get my gun. I'm going to go see what the fuck's happened in that house. Because at first he's like, what are you doing in that house?
Yeah.
So as Leatherface is dealing with Richter, Melody hides under the bed.
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
That's the moment. But we should go and rewind a little, because the only bit of character development I feel we get from the group of friends we're supposed to be invested in is Leela being a victim of a school shooting.
Yeah.
She has a scar on her shoulder.
Yeah.
And before all goes to hell, she's in Richter's mechanic's garage.
Yeah.
And sees, one, he's got a pistol on him and a semi-automatic rifle just lying there. And, you see her pick it up because he's like, he's on the other side of this. Guns aren't a bad thing. It's okay. And she's obviously a victim of it. I'd be shit scared, not going to lie. And she is, and she drops it, and he's like, she tells him, and I feel like that's the only bit of character development we get, because later on she has to confront Leatherface with a gun. Yeah.
And you see a bit of like, sort of like a bit of emotional support from Richter as well in that scene, which you wouldn't have expected. Because he sort of understands, kind of, from
towns like
he is.
Where this is based.
Yeah.
Harlow.
Yeah.
School shootings, I imagine, don't happen in places like that.
No.
I could be wrong. I'm not from America, but it's shit that it's even a thing. But anyway. So then later on, Richter goes into the house and picks a fight with Leatherface, which isn't a good idea.
Yeah, he's doing a good job up until...
he is doing a good job. But so as Leatherface realizes he's in the house, that's when he gets the chainsaw, isn't it?
No, so he comes in the house, and this is this is the bit about it where you're like, oh fuck. So she's underneath the bed. She can't make a fucking single word, because if she makes a word or a noise, she's over. She's done with. The fact
that it's one of those beds with all the springs as well.
Yeah, and like, so she hears someone come running up the stairs, and she really wants to tell him that Leatherface is behind the door.
But she can't get out and shout him.
So you sort of see her kick the mirror a little bit to one side, and you see him stood behind the door, and you're like, fuck. And he sort of sees it, but before he has a chance to react, Leatherface fucking pops out from behind it, and then after a bit of scuffling, twats Richter in the knee with a hammer, and you see his knee
breaks
just bend.
His leg, yeah.
Yeah, his leg just fucking bends backwards, and you're like, fuck, he's done.
Another kill where you're like, there's no way this should be a Netflix film.
Yeah. Fuck. But yeah, fucking fair play to him. He carries on, and he nearly has Leatherface, and then that's it.
But there's a nice moment where, nice claustrophobic and tense at the same time, where he gets his keys, and you're like, you're gonna give away Melody's position under this bed here. Luckily, he doesn't purposely put them in front of him, but he just falls with them.
Yeah.
To like let her know, you gotta get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, well, that was another of those moments where you're thinking, right, is he gonna figure out that someone's underneath that bed now because he's holding the key?
Yeah, definitely.
Just as he holds the key out, Leatherface comes in again with a hammer and literally crushes his skull. And again, that was like, fuck.
Yeah.
And he doesn't stop at one or two hits. He carries on showing you it until it's just flat.
Yeah,
like,
I think we're seeing that a lot in some of these slashes now. Like
Halloween,
we had the stomp on the head.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking hell. That was a great kill.
Like,
fucked up, but great.
And then this is when he goes for the chainsaw now, so he has this moment where he's like, right, fuck this shit, people are getting people are getting killed now, yeah.
Ye old trusty.
And that's like you said, you see that all the bed springs like lowering down onto him.
Almost touch,
Yeah, as he's reaching in for it. And how the fuck does that chainsaw fire up after like how many years? Is it 50 years?
I think around 50 that.
Years.
And I'm like, so there's just, you just left gasoline in there and it's running okay, is it? No rusted blades or anything?
No, what the fuck? So unless because they're not filling the gaps, he could have gone on chopping people up.
Yeah,
way past 1974.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Maybe it's the reason the town's abandoned,
Well, yeah, we don't know, do we? But if not, then how the fuck is that working after 50 years? Anyway, it gets it back up and running again, and then off he goes. Off he pops.
Oh, he's out hunting.
Yeah.
Which, So I'm trying to piece together now who's next in my mind. It's been 2 days since I watched this. Melody's stuck under the bed.
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Melody's stuck under the bed. Her sister gets off the bus because she's like, I want to go see what's happening. She goes to run towards the house.
This is it.
In which Melody distracts and she's underneath the floor. She comes out of the room.
Down the stairs, doesn't she?
She gets thrown down the stairs, goes straight through the floorboards underneath the house.
Yeah, by the way, and then, straight the power of that throw. Fuck me.
Yeah, he just fucking launches the hammer, doesn't he?
Yeah.
It's like Thor.
Yeah, fucking was.
Yeah.
She gets trapped under this crawl space.
But you'd think that would fucking crush your ribs or something, you know what I mean? You'd be out of breath.
Oh, well, she is fucked up after it. She's limping and stuff.
And then you get like a visit moment in the film The Visit.
Mate, I'm so happy you said it because I was thinking it too. Yeah. It's like the hide and seek scurrying up.
Yeah. Oh, man. And then, just that chainsaw falling around everywhere. And even
that's, again, another claustrophobic, tense.
Yeah, there's nowhere to go, man. If he gets you on the spot there, you're fucked. There's nowhere else to go.
But then her sister distracts him.
Yeah, and then manages to get the vent open at the bottom, pulls it open, and then they both run out of it.
Bolt to the bus.
That's where they bolt to the bus. And that's when things go fucking sideways.
So this was a concern of mine when we watched the trailer is we see Leatherface we don't know it's a bus at the time, but we see him fucking cutting someone up against the roof and everyone just pulling the phones out. Yeah. And that was a bit in the trailer where I was like, what the fuck is that? This is a huge bus with like party style lights, and the guys, everyone who's visiting this town is partying, celebrating what Dante and Melody have started.
Yeah. So
go on.
They're gonna say they get on the bus and they're like, right, let's fucking go. They get the keys going, start driving, and then this is where you get that shot with Leatherface stood next to the building. It's raining and you get the bus shot.
Oh yeah,
oh man, I fucking love that shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
The dog's farted and she fucking stinks. Wow. Are you okay? Wow. Sorry. Smells like rotten eggs.
It's all right. That's staying in.
Yeah.
Another horror. Matty's experiencing some right
now. Yeah, and then obviously you hear the tyres pop, so Leatherface has gone over and
which reminded me of like the original what's the hitchhiker's name? Nubbin.
Yeah, Nubbins.
Nubbins gets kicked out for cutting Franklin.
Yeah.
Is it Franklin? I think it is. And he's kicking the bus and smearing blood on it, trying to stop them from driving away.
Yep. That's it. Sorry.
But in this case, it's Leatherface who's cutting up the tire and the side of the bus, and you're seeing sparks fly in the pouring rain.
Yeah.
The stupid driver is like, I'll get out and check it out. Even though Catherine has said, don't go check it out. Stay here. Mm-hmm. Don't open that door.
I mean, it wouldn't have made a difference, but still, he fucking went out there, didn't he?
You don't open the door. To which we just see his head thrown in the doorway.
Yeah.
And then she becomes like a main like anchor point in this because she doesn't warn anyone. She just starts backing away as Leatherface is step by step getting further into the bus and into the back where people are partying and having a good time.
Yeah, and everyone just starts staring towards him. Again, that bit there, like when you see him step on the bus and he's just looking at everyone, you're like, oh,
he's got like this leather apron on, dripping in blood. Obviously, the face doesn't fit perfect on him, so it's all skewed and looking creepy as fuck. It's a great visual. Yeah,
and like I said, everyone just stands there and like people what do these days just get the phones out and they just film in because they think it's some sort of like I'm guessing they think it's some sort of act that they're doing because they know they're in Harlem. So
and I thought it was funny because someone goes like live on Instagram or something, and people like, "Where's this? I want to go." Looks so fucking fake, and you know that's the shit you would see on stuff like that. It's quite funny. But yeah, people get cut the fuck up in this scene. It's a bloodbath. Leatherface isn't letting anyone go. And
this is one of those scenes where I just sat there and I was just like,
yeah,
fuck.
This solidified it as like, oh, I like this now.
It's living up to the title.
Yeah.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Fucking massacre.
Exactly that. Yeah. I've not just killed 4 friends. It's a massacre.
Yeah.
Picture Texas Chainsaw and you look around the house in the original, you're assuming they've done all of this shit before. You're looking at the furniture and stuff.
Yeah.
Think of stuff like House of 1,000 Corpses.
Yeah.
That's what inspired that film. So
yeah. So yeah, that's it. Like, you don't really, obviously you're seeing people get killed and stuff like that, but this is like in the previous films, but this is like a actual fucking massacre.
Dude,
like
blood spray everywhere. Yeah. And there's I love artsy kills. Just the look of outside of the bus, you've got all these hands banging on the windows to get out. It looks like it's a zombie movie.
Yeah, it's with the neon lights in it in the background as well.
And it's just covered in blood, and it's such a nice visual.
Yeah, it's fucking freaky, man. I mean, you couldn't even imagine that, just being trapped on that bus. You've got nowhere to go, and you see that chainsaw coming towards you.
Dude.
Fuck.
Yeah, again, small spaces, and you can't get out. Yeah.
What about the woman anyway? On the the scene on the bus where she's trying to climb out the window, only she's going to climb out.
Yeah, so this is the what's her name? Catherine the banker.
Saws her body in half, and all you see is the guts just like fucking fall out. Yeah. Fucking hell. Yeah. It is rough. Wow. Yeah, and then them two dive into the
sisters go into the bathroom.
Yeah.
And see a skylight kind of thing.
Yeah.
Break that open. Leela, the sister... Is it Leela? Yeah, Leela gets out first.
Yeah.
And Melody's left in there.
Yeah.
Leatherface ain't stupid. He knows what a door is and starts cutting it open.
Yeah.
To see that Melody's there, it's like, oh, these are the women I'm after, actually, funnily enough. And gets stabbed with a chainsaw corkscrew that she got at the gas station.
Yeah. It's motherfucking chainsawed.
Yeah.
Yeah. They get at the roof, and it's one of those moments again where you're like, the feet are dangling through, and you're thinking, every time you see someone's feet like dangling out of somewhere, you just know they're not going to survive.
It's worrying. It's the equivalent of like running upstairs and you think someone's going to grab your legs kind of shit.
That's it. Like, they always do that in horror movies. It's always the feet. You know what I mean? It's always someone crawling away and someone's feet getting grabbed. Like, it's horrible. But yeah, they get away in a way, don't they? And
they jump off the side of the bus. But I'm like, get running. You don't have time here.
No.
Like, he's slow, and you assume he's slow. Turns out he isn't slow. But yeah, and then we see car headlights pull up, and it's our badass Sally.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
Laurie Strode.
Part 2. No. Point 2? Yeah, point 2.
Point 2. Yeah. She turns up, gets out the car, and she's like, right.
They get into her car, which is great, but she's a ranger, so she's got like the division between back seats and drivers, and then child locks on.
Yeah.
And they can't get out that car, but they're like, oh, we're safe. And I was like, oh, is this it?
Yeah.
But turns out this isn't it, because Sally's a badass and wants to kill him.
Yeah, and she wants to lure him to the car, towards her.
Yeah, she says,
him in the car.
He wants you guys. You're the live bait. We'll take it. I'm like,
you bastard.
All right, Sally, you fucking dickhead. The fuck are you on?
Yeah.
She cracks out the shotgun. And
goes in on it.
So the part that I like about Sally is she's wanting to see if he remembers her.
Yeah.
You know, because I know everyone's making the comparison to Laurie Strode and Sally, and that we don't need another badass woman taking revenge 50, 40 years later, whatever. But I think she's had all her friends murdered And Leatherface isn't only chasing her now. He will cut anyone up. Whereas in Halloween, although Michael Myers killed all of Laurie Strode's friends, very much now it's just after Laurie kind of feel.
Yeah.
Although that's what Halloween Kills actually addresses. So I'm wrong there. It's not.
well, that's it. Like you obviously in Halloween, you think it's all focused on Laurie, which obviously the sequels portrayed, and that was the case in that. Yeah. But in this, it's not really like that. And it's same with the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's like
he's just killing. So
yeah, he's not after her in any way. She would just happen to be there at the time, and he was chasing after her to kill her. Like that's
it's that. Like, listen, I'm trying to get a new mask.
Yeah.
Your face looks like a good fit. That's all that happens. I do want to know, like, what kind of things is Leatherface looking for in a face to be like, that's the one I'm cutting off. Because he does some kills where you're like, nah, I'll stomp on your fucking head.
Yeah, but he's very particular about it, isn't he?
Yeah. Just a thought, anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, he's not. Obviously, he's not focusing on like he doesn't know who the fuck she is. It's like 50 years
that is a part of her character where she wants him to remember.
She's got that obsession.
I'm the one that got away. Yeah. And I like that.
Yeah.
But that's about the only bit I did like from Sally, because then Sally ain't no more.
No,
and she gets fucking. Well, I should say before she gets cut up, she throws the keys to them and says, "Get out of there," doesn't she?
Yeah, just as he comes over to the car to get them as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, he ends up chainsawing Sally, and that's another cool scene.
Get a really cool like spray of blood in the fucking air.
Yeah. Slams it. Oh, he just fucking throws a body, doesn't he? He just fucking and she just goes flying onto the garbage on the floor.
Yeah.
And yet she can still fire a shotgun.
So that's what I was wondering. I was like, how are you talking? There's no way.
She's been chainsawed through the fucking spine, through the fucking stomach. Everyone knows if your spine gets ruptured, you know what I mean? You're paralysed, you're fucked, you're not going to be able to move. Never mind shoot a shotgun.
Good point.
Yeah, she shoots a shotgun.
But I will say, just before she gets sliced in half, me mentioning... we assume Leatherface is slow.
Yeah.
She goes to shoot a shot at Leatherface, and he fucking darts away.
Yeah.
And into darkness, and you're like, whoa, he's pretty fucking fast here.
Yeah.
Wondering and then you hear like, so one thing I've not talked about yet is the fucking sound of this film. I thought the music was great and the sound design was great, because we start hearing like chainsaws being pulled to start in different areas, and you think, where the fuck is he?
So this is the cinema screen bit, the scene into it where, so they drive off, the sisters drive off in the car, and for some reason they go to run Leatherface over.
Oh mate,
I don't know why you would do that. Yeah,
that pissed me off. You could have got away.
Be out of there. Yeah,
yeah.
I would have even chanced it. I would have just been out of there. But yeah, they tried to do that. They end up
Everyone's
crashing.
Got to be a hero.
Yeah. They end up crashing. Melody ends up getting trapped in the car because there's a pole through her leg. And then
Leela is told to get out of there because he's coming. Yeah. And he is coming with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
So yeah, you assume, because it's a tense moment between the sisters where you're like, get out of there. She doesn't want to leave her.
Mm-hmm.
But she does. She goes, and you're like, bye-bye, Melody, finally.
Yeah.
Because on one part, I want her to die with her cocky remarks.
Yeah.
Another, I'm like, nah, you got to get out of this. Because there's other remarks where she's like, I have to take care of you to her sister.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And like, you can't look after yourself without me. And I'm like, I can't wait to see you die, kind of thing. You know.
Yeah, so then, what's the name again? Sorry, I forgot her name.
Melody or Leela?
Leela, yeah. So she goes and she picks up this rifle, tries to shoot it. That doesn't work.
It's empty, yeah.
It's empty. In which then Sally shoots Leatherface to try and distracts her from killing him, and then that's when he runs off into the cinema. She goes over to Sally, who's surprisingly still alive, hands her the shotgun, puts a few shells in there for her, few rounds in there, packs it through, and then off she goes into the cinema. And again, like this, like I said, this is the character development part of it, because she's like trying to overcome a fear of firearms and weapons and stuff like that, as well as going into a building knowing full well that she could probably die in there.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure, don't we have that scene before it where she's lying on the floor?
Yeah.
And then she has a flashback to the school shooting, lying on the floor.
Yeah.
You know, we see that more than once within the movie. So, like, it adds to the fact that she picked up a gun to begin with and, you know, is a nice moment.
Mm.
But yeah, then we get the sort of third act final parts, don't we? I didn't realise that was a cinema, I'll be honest.
Yeah, it's like a cinema that they go into, like an abandoned cinema.
Yeah, it makes sense because it's on that corner, isn't it?
Yeah.
I know exactly where it is in the town, and then, yeah. See, I'm going to have to watch this again. And I will be, because I liked it. So, the final scene in the cinema is Leela going after Leatherface, as we believe Melody's still trapped in the car.
Yeah, Melody's still trapped in the car, and then she obviously has the option to go. She's like, right, go, and then she picks up the gun, and like I said, like, so she's
follows him into the cinema.
Yeah, and she's trying to overcome a fear of firearms as well, because she's got bad PTSD from what's happened to her in the past.
Yeah,
so that's a big thing for her, for one, and then actually going into the cinema knowing for a fact that she probably will die going in there. She fucking goes in, so it's like...
Because, you know, out of all the encounters Leatherface has had so far, he's 1-0 against everyone at the minute.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
He's not been one-upped by anyone. So we hear, like, the sound of the chainsaw just running.
Yep.
And then, like, this, like, sheeting. And you think he's stood behind there, but as she pulls it down, it's just the chainsaw on the floor.
And as soon as you see that, you're like, fuck. Game over.
Outsmarted, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a real smart play from Leatherface, which I don't think we see that often, which I think it's nice to see this. And he fucking spears her into this pool of water on the floor, like collapsed floorboards have filled up with water kind of thing, I'm assuming. Can't imagine a cinema with a swimming pool, so that's what I'm going with.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I think it's just obviously over time. It's just...
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
One thing I struggled to work out at that point, I thought, that's it, you've got no weapon, but it turns out as he fucking spears her and throws her into this water, the gun gets flown out of her hands and on the floor, which I don't think was shown very well, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
And then you think there's going to be a scuffle, but she just gets out of the water, and we don't know where Leatherface is.
No. He's somewhere underwater anyway, and then she gets out, grabs the gun, goes to shoot him. When he comes back out, he flies out, doesn't he, like a fucking shark? From what I can remember, doesn't he? Like,
right.
He just shoots out the water like a shark and just fucking lands.
As they do.
Yeah.
And throughout all of this, we're just hearing a chainsaw idling on its own.
Yeah.
And then we see Melody with the chainsaw. She's got out of the car.
Yeah.
He's stood on the edge looking so fucking sinister.
Yeah.
Like the hairs over his mask.
It's all wet, yeah.
Blood, wet. All his aprons covered in blood. And she fucking like uppercut styles.
Yeah.
Hits him with this chainsaw.
Yep. And
falls back in the water, and that's that.
It. Yeah, I think as soon as you see that, you kind of like, part of you thinks maybe he's done, he's done, but then he just...
I'll be honest, when I watched this, I was like, that's it, that's great.
Yeah. You think he's done, but then you know what it's like with horror movie people, man. Unless you chop the head off, you can't be too
Scream
sure.
has taught us, you know the rules. So it's funny you say that. So the next scene, it's daytime. It's, the morning. They've fought all night.
Yeah.
And they've got the keys to the Tesla to get the fuck out of there as you would. And as we were watching it, Jess was like, nope. I was like, what do you mean, nope? This is like a nice ending. She's like, nah, something's happening here. Jess started feeling uncomfortable. The fact that it was nice.
Yeah,
I thought that was funny.
The fact, oh mate, do you know what did piss me off about this as well? They click autopilot. Who the fuck clicks autopilot after that's happened? You're escaping like a mass murderer. It's someone who's been fucking chainsawing people to death, and you put the car on autopilot. You deserve to fucking die,
mate.
Who does
you're
that?
Tired. You've been fighting Leatherface all night. I just want to lie down and chill. Let my car drive me home. You know.
Oh fuck no. Oh fuck that. I couldn't believe that when I saw that. I was like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah, do you know what? I didn't think about it too much, but now that you say it, it's like...
I think even Elon Musk would have been shouting at the TV like, you stupid bitch, fucking get it off autopilot.
Yeah, bomb it out of there.
Yeah.
Just out of that town alone. Yeah, you are right.
Fuck.
And then, you know, it ain't over.
Is it fuck?
Fucking Leatherface is here. Does he drag her out the window?
Yeah, he bursts through the window and just drags her out.
He gets Melody, and then what really does annoy me is Leela just sticks her head out of the sunroof looking backwards and is like...
Yeah, car's driving off an autopilot.
But mate, that kill on Melody where he's looking at Leela and just slicing her head off of her body.
I just keep staring at her while he's holding onto it. Oh, yeah. And then he does the classic. I think everyone must have loved at the end of that movie. No matter if you hated the movie, I think you would have enjoyed that little moment at the end.
So happy that revving the chainsaw in the air, running around.
Yeah,
great nod to the original.
Yeah, that was fucking cool. That because again, that's with the soundtrack in the background as well, and he's just going sick, swinging this around in the sunrise, and that it's like. Yeah, like you said, it's a perfect nod to the original, and it was a nice way to sort of end the movie again.
Yeah, it's nice to have those references in there, which I think, you know, any listeners who listen to like our Halloween stuff, we love that shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, how did you feel about the ending? Like the fact that this happened? Because for me, I thought I got really annoyed. It kind of ruined it, and I was like, really. You know, do we have to carry it on?
Well, that's one of those, isn't it? I mean, I didn't really know what to expect with it, but yeah, I mean, if they're gonna make a Texas Chainsaw movie, obviously they're gonna do more to it, and so you know what it's like. Once they got the rights to it, they're gonna try and squeeze as much out of it as they can.
It's just business. I can't get annoyed at that, can I?
So after this, did you see the post-credit scene?
No.
Yeah. This exists.
Oh, what?
Post-credit scene. Yep.
Tell me about it. Let's go.
Okay, so...
first of all, did it annoy you that ending that Melody dies? Or were you wanting just to drive off and that's it?
Or I don't really know. I kind of did like it. Yeah, in a way. I was like... Just because she put the car on autopilot.
I mean, I'm rooting for Melody to die. I didn't like her character, but...
Yeah. It would have been nice to see them both drive off into the sunset, but you know what I mean. It's one of those. It's never gonna.
Yeah, we're watching the slasher that way.
Yeah,
I like what made it up for me was seeing him rev the chainsaw in the air and have a good time. Now on to the important stuff, Matty. Tell me about this post-credit scene. What the fuck?
So
I missed.
I think a lot of people must have missed out on it because you don't expect it unless you're watching a Marvel film.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So you get Leatherface holding his chainsaw, walking down the country lane in a very hot Texan summer's day or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And he's just slowly dragging himself along, walking towards what we believe and what looks like the Sawyer family home. It doesn't look, from what I can remember, it doesn't look accurate to what the original looked like. Now, again, I don't know if this is the family home or if they're just not going for total accuracy or whatever. I don't know, like, because obviously some films change it up.
But if you look at like some of the sequels, even some of the characters look completely different from what they did in.
Well, that's it. Yeah. So, so maybe they're just changing it up a little bit. God knows, or maybe it could be a different house. But from what we believe, what other house would he be walking towards?
Yeah, of course.
Now, he was in that boys' home living with this woman. After God knows what happened in between 1974 and that, like I said, this is where it could lead on to a possible sequel or Netflix original series. God knows, and that might explain what happened in between. But if he is going back to that house, is he going living there on his own, or is there actual family that may still live there, and maybe he got sent off from his family to this other place, or maybe he got taken off that family? You never know.
Maybe it was a cover to, you know, a lot of attention is on Drayton Sawyer and his home.
Yeah.
Send Bubba Sawyer away somewhere.
Yeah, elsewhere, yeah. But, so anyway, if there is someone there who's alive, because, like, Drayton would be fucking dead by now. He was old anyway.
Well,
he was old as fuck.
hang on. Look at Grandad.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I know what you mean. So
Drayton Sawyer could just be looking like Grandad, looking like he's dead, but still existing kind of thing.
Well, that's it. That's a good point. So unless eating humans and that, they've been up to eating humans and stuff, if that keeps you alive.
Making his chili, you know.
Yeah, I mean, fuck knows, that might keep you alive longer. We don't know.
Yeah.
But I mean, it looks that way for Grandpa on the original film, you never fucking know. Grandpa could still be alive.
That's true, yeah.
He'd probably be a skeleton, like that woman off SpongeBob, do you know, who they're trying to sell the cookies to. She's like,
fucking hell.
He could be looking like that at the moment, but yeah. Nubbins obviously got fucking killed. You've got Chop Top, who you never know, they might bring back.
Chop Top.
So Chop Top, who's in the second film, played by Bill Moseley.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. The fucking coat hanger, yeah.
Yeah, so that's supposed to be Nubbins' twin brother.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so unless they bring his character back, maybe, if he's still alive, or if they actually bring him in as a character, because, I mean, if it's a direct sequel, then you don't really see Chop Top, do you?
Yeah, this timeline disregards the second one, unfortunately.
Yeah, so
it's a film I really like.
So he might not even exist within this universe. So yeah, fuck knows. I mean, he could be there if anyone.
I think so. You know, this has had such a divided opinion that I think that, you know, people will be happy for a sequel or a series, like you say, and either way,
yeah,
you know, it just shows that the people that like what we just watched will watch the new stuff.
I think they might pull off a series quite well.
Series, I think, is a good idea.
I think I'd rather watch a series than a film. I don't know about you. Would you rather see a film or
more of a series? I think that would be better.
Even like a 5-part series, each episode 40 minutes to an hour long. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah,
as long as they do it well. I think I'd prefer that than just another movie.
Why are you saying series over movie?
I think because they can get a lot more into the nitty gritty of it. You can still keep all the elements and the gore in there and all that sort of thing, and keep it true to what it is. But then at the same time, you can delve a little bit more into the storyline and get a bit more of the backstory explained, and have a lot more character development as the series goes on. Whereas if they do another movie, you never know. Like, you never know what you're going to get with it. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got a certain amount, like a length of time where you can tell the story. So if you've got 5 episodes, each episode's an hour long. Do you know what I mean? You've got a lot of time there.
Yeah,
compared to an hour and 22 run time, which I think this is.
It is.
And I think that's one of the things that people sort of disliking about this, is maybe it's not got as much of a deep storyline to it, because it is quite shallow in regards to character development and storyline. It's just very straight to the point. It's
true, but I feel we said this over our group chat, but it's like, I don't think the original, you know, as I love the original, but I don't think that's known for its in-depth story.
No, not at all. I agree with you.
It's got good tense moments and builds up to it well, and that's why I like it, but I don't think there's amazing character development in those movies. In fact, in the last episode we did, I was like, it's slow to begin with.
Yeah. No, I understand what you mean, definitely, I mean, I enjoyed the movie regardless.
Same.
Just because it was a fun watch and it's what you'd sort of expect from a Texas Chainsaw movie, but I think obviously nowadays people are expecting a lot more, and I think that's what maybe a series could bring to the table with it.
Yeah,
if they did it well.
I think that'd be a great idea. I did see someone's tweet. I think it was Creepy Duck Design. You know, the guy that did all those cool fucking Scream posters.
Yeah.
And he's like, there can be a film called Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it is just a massacre with a chainsaw in Texas, and that's all it needs to be. And I was like, because that's exactly what we got. Yeah,
100%. And they did pull it all off like really well. And like you said, that fucking buzz scene, Jesus Christ.
Dude, so good. Like, just some of my favourite kills, snapping the guy's wrist and stabbing him with his own bone.
Yeah.
The fucking yeah, that kill's disgusting. So is the breaking of the leg and bashing him with a hammer, and then the bus scene alone. Those kills were what did it for me. Where I was like, oh, this is amazing. And then the artsy fucking face off mother in the fucking field and stuff. Yeah, it looks so good. Some of the scenes, music's great.
For an easy watch for a film, an hour and 22 in length, not too long. You know what I mean? You're not sitting there for ages, like while it's dragging on. There's no points in that film where I felt like it was dragging. There was something constantly going, and I think it was just a fun watch for a horror movie fan and watching. Obviously, he's a fan of the original Texas Chainsaw as well. I think I enjoyed it, and it had probably what I wanted in there. Like I said, I would have liked to see a bit more storyline and stuff, but that's for future things. But I did enjoy it. I won't give it any like really bad reviews or anything like that. So
I completely agree with you there. Yeah,
but like I said, go on. Sorry.
Even if you're just wanting, you want to watch a horror and just not think, because sometimes you do.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah,
this is perfect for that. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it has had like loads of mixed reviews. Like I've seen, like I said, people who are saying they prefer it over Scream and Halloween Kills, which is like that's a big thing. And then on the other hand, I've seen like articles where people are saying Netflix have massacred the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like that was the headline for it, and I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, some real divided opinions.
Yeah. I think they've done a good job, Netflix, considering
I completely
took the
agree,
challenge on with it. So
I discounted this movie thinking it's going to be bad just because it's coming out straight to Netflix, and I was kind of like hyping myself up, but at the same time, I was like, don't get your hopes up.
Yeah,
and it very much lived up to it beyond what I was thinking it would be.
Yeah, and people who haven't necessarily watched the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they could just jump onto this film, and 100%. I think there's not like too much of it that carries forward. You're like, shit, I need to watch the original before I watch this. You know what I mean? It's just like it stands on its own as a film. Which again, that's another thing that maybe people were looking for a bit more. Maybe some diehard Texas Chainsaw fans wanted a bit more of that connection in between them both. But all we got is a Laurie Strode, Sally sort of thing.
Yeah. That's where some of the bits were like, but like you say, I never thought it was dragging. It delivered on gore and artsy style. Granted, there's some plot points, but that might just be opening up future stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that does it, doesn't it?
Yep.
So if you've listened this far, let us know what you thought about the new Texas Chainsaw, because it's very fucking divided. Me and Matty are clearly biased because we like the movie. So if you've got some other opinions on it, let us know in comments on our socials or down below on the YouTube video. But that does it for this episode. Thank you for listening. And if you enjoyed it, go check out our other episodes where we break down the original, or join our Discord and all our other socials and shit. But thanks for checking it out.
Thank you.
Bye.